Hello and welcome to Psychology Today. I'm Dr. Gail Majcher, and with me is Mary DiPaolo, limited licensed psychologist, and we're so happy that you're joining us. This is our third show in a series on anxiety, and anxiety is something that impacts the majority of people at some point in their lives. So we have done shows on anxiety, we're doing shows on anxiety, and we probably will again in the future because It's just that prevalent. Today we're going to focus a bit on those kind of core beliefs that we have that cause us anxiety, and we may not even know that we have these beliefs going on. We've talked about habitual thought before. We can believe things about ourselves that just aren't true. You had a good example that you wanted to mention.
One of the core beliefs that can really trip a person up relative to what they believe to be pretty darn true or absolutely true about themselves is this one: I cannot fail. Now think about that. I cannot fail. When you truly believe you cannot fail, boy, do you set yourself up for a whole lot of anxiety, a whole lot of disappointment, and a whole lot of disaster. So even to reframe that particular core belief with, it's okay to fail, I'm not perfect, it's okay to be imperfect, whatever you come up with, that is going to help you much more than living and staying in the belief that you cannot fail.
It makes me think about when I do marriage counseling. I see a lot of couples in therapy. And so often a problem in marriages is that each person has a belief that the other should be this way. And they stay stuck in the thought that he or she should be this way. They should behave this way. They should talk this way. They should treat me this way. Everything this way. Okay, as long as you're stuck in trying or in believing that that other person should be who you've created in your head, you're stuck with a whole lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. When you are set free to accept that other person for who they are versus who you think they should be, you're the one who is set free. You're suddenly feeling so much better because you're not locked into that thought. But so many couples get locked into it without realizing, of course, that they're locked into it. It's just an it's like a subconscious thought that's up there. Mm-hmm. Just like the I can't fail.
Another core belief that we see a lot of times in therapy relative to the way people perceive themselves is I am fragile and unable.
Oh yeah, that's very common.
What the heck, really?
Yeah. A lot of people learn that in childhood, that they can't succeed and they're not capable of it.
Right.
And it's a lie, because every one of us really, if we put our heart and soul into something, whatever our passion is, we can succeed, we can go forward. It's just a lie. A lot of people learn these lies in childhood, not that parents were intentionally, causing that, but it happens where people come out with these kind of beliefs. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't succeed. Yes, you can. I have seen so many people in therapy who have had that belief. Well, by the end of therapy, they no longer have that belief. They know they can go forward. They can succeed. They can get the job promotion, they can get an education, they can do whatever it is they need to do to go forward in life. They're not stuck anymore.
Right, and here's the unfortunate reality we see also. If that person who believes that way still has strong ties to the people who fed them that lie, and many times it can be the entire family of origin or specific members of the family of origin or even the partner now, depending on the circumstance. So here you've got one or more people that are basically repeating the message, you are fragile and unable, while you at the same time are trying to get it together. You understand how your anxiety could go on blast because you're not speaking the truth to the people you need to about what you're going through, how you're trying to heal, but yet lying to yourself by still being in contact with them in an unhealthy way.
And sometimes when you're in a family system like that, where those negative thoughts are directed towards you, it does keep you stuck, and that's what you're talking about. Many people are not so connected to their extended family anymore, just logistically. They live in different states or
Right.
whatever. And people sometimes will tell me how they long to have to live right where their family does and everyone be together. But then as they're telling their story, you can see one reason they got away was because they were the one that negative was focused on. And they would not have succeeded and gone forward in life had they stayed that close to that family system.
Right.
So sometimes there is a time to not become estranged, because estrangement is terrible, but to step away, not be quite involved, where you can't be viewed as the negative one. In my family system, I was the youngest, and I think there's this belief that the oldest should succeed more than anyone else in the family. And if you're the youngest and you're moving forward, sometimes you can get pushback from your family. Now, for me, my whole family moved away, so I didn't deal with that. But I've seen it with other people, and I can see how often it happens with the younger ones in a family system.
If you ever want to watch a documentary, which I just watched the other day, that will blow your mind about this issue and how we do need to get healthy regardless of where we come from or what we've been through. The documentary is called The House of Sue, and it's spelled S-U-H. It's about an Asian American family that emigrated to Chicago and what happened as a result of the family dysfunction being passed down to the two children that were in that family system, and how unless you actively work to get healthy and overcome your demons, you won't, and something like this documentary can end up happening to you.
Sometimes it takes being backed into a corner to really break negative thought patterns. Like out of necessity, we have to somehow succeed. Like I at a very young age, I found myself alone with two small babies to raise on my own and figure out how to raise them financially, all that, which really is what pushed me to get an education. And if I hadn't been backed into a corner like that, I don't know that I would have gotten an education or gone all the way for a PhD. It was, I had that very difficult push, but nonetheless it's the push that breaks you out of a path